Hey, my name's Keith. I'm recording this in a hospital because I broke my foot and I'm going into surgery tomorrow to have this bone in my foot, the heel bone, put back together. And I thought I would just try and do a podcast about my feelings at the moment. I don't want to say in case I die because that's putting it a bit dramatic. There is a risk with anesthesia, with general anesthetic, but I'm not worried about it at all. I'm in Berlin, Germany, at a top-notch hospital, and it's fine. I have good health care here. I'm in this private comfort station room, and it's not bad. It's nicer than my apartment, to be honest. Has a good view. So I have this podcast that I've been doing for years, and it's just a way for me to like kind of be contrarian without offending people. I don't really promote my podcast because it's like not a good look to like, criticize really trendy topics. But I should probably have been. I guess I'm trying to just like evaluate my life. It could be argued that I'm halfway through a typical life, maybe not quite, and it's a fair time to take stock and overview what I've done with my life so far, I guess. And I guess I'm feeling a bit down about it. I'm not too proud in a way, but I'm not too judgmental either. I'm an artist, and I think part of being an artist is, kind of unshackling yourself from typical expectations of society and ideas of success. Most artists struggle forever. It's kind of built into the work. It's mainly because artists are not really valued in capitalism, frankly. And I used to be like a big critic of capitalism. I actually like it from a consumer point of view and from like a peace maintaining point of view. And, I think it's the best, worst system, But it's hard for me to fit in it, and I'm just not business minded. And that's not good when you're self employed, especially when you're just not, even willing to do the self promotion and playing the game and stuff. But I'm privileged enough, like I've been able to skate by and not have to worry about it too much. But I'm not living as well as I could, and I think the older I get, the worse of a look that is, and I think I'm just conscious of that nowadays. So I have to admit that. And yeah, I just had like a big talk with my parents, my dad specifically. I guess the way I see things right now is that there are like different kinds of people, but in a way, I hate to say it like this, there are two kinds of people. Like there are people that really that that are suited for this world, who like fit in. They like understand the stakes. They understand the risks and the consequences and like the goals and all this stuff because like we all kind of know what those are. And there's another group of people that really like criticize that stuff, like radical leftists or like really people that live off the grid, people that do things their own way, and it's hard for people like us to like fit in and to like find a place in this world. And my dad and my mom and my brother are all like trained as lawyers, so they kind of see the world in that kind of typical way. And when I tell people that I'm an artist, like most people get it straight away that I'm like the black sheep of the family. But the trick there is that I'm actually like quite loved by my family. I'm not made to feel like a black sheep at all. But today my dad kind of did make me feel that way, finally. And I'm almost proud of him for doing it because he should feel that way. Like, basically, um, I think this idea of mortality is setting in for my parents even more than me, but it sets in for me too because I could have died. I could be dead. And I live recklessly. So it's kind of a surprise that I'm not dead, to be honest. Friday night I was partying, I was having fun, I was doing drugs, I was drinking. I went home with a girl, a stranger. Um, and I didn't know how to get out of her building. And um, I didn't have the wherewithal to like understand my situation. I didn't explore the courtyard and the exits in Germany. Like I'm not as used to. I didn't grow up in these kind of courtyards that are gated off and stuff from the street. And I just saw a gate and it wouldn't open, and I was confused by that. So I just decided to jump it. And I thought about it. I looked at it and I thought that is tall. It's like 2.5 meters tall or something. It looked dangerous. I didn't want to jump it. It had spikes on the top, and I just thought, this is risky, but I need to get out of here. And I jumped it. I think, you know, if I was half my age, I would have landed it, I guess. I don't know. I've jumped off a lot of tall things in my time, but I landed this time square on my heel and shattered it. And I think when I told my parents this information, my mom was actually like very sympathetic, like, "Oh no, I can't. I'm so sorry. Like, are you okay?" And it's nice actually that my mom is like, as she ages, she's becoming more maternal in a way. Because growing up, she was like a very, I don't know, of her era feminist, like proving that she could be a successful lawyer and working all the time, and not really there as a mom, to be honest. Not as much as I would want for my kid if I had children. And my dad has taken on that kind of very modern man role of like trying to be nurturing. But I think there's a reason why men aren't typically nurturing. It's like, I don't know. It's weird to me as I've gotten older. I've kind of accepted that, yeah, I mean, gender roles exist for a reason. Um, and I think my dad today just, I don't know. Basically, what happened, I guess I'm sorry. I should mute these messages I'm getting. I think he was like coming face to face with this idea of mortality and like, what if I died tomorrow in surgery from a general anesthetic? It's a risk. It's not a risk I take seriously, but it's fair enough that he thought about it. And what do I have to say for my life at this point? Like, what have I done? Am I proud of my life? Is he proud of me? And he's been the kind of loving father that would always say that he's very proud of me. And I've grown up hearing that. And quite frankly, it's spoiling to say that to somebody that hasn't done anything. I've done things. I've like done a lot, and I am proud of living my own path, I think quite sincerely that I've done it my way. And that's a famous song that people think applies to them, but I think it's very true for me. I'm open to hearing otherwise. Maybe I'm being egocentric saying that. But yeah, I've traveled a ton. I've pursued various passions. I've loved and lost many times over. And I've maintained a youthful exuberance in my life and a charisma that I'm proud of. But I have not monetized that. I have like eschewed this idea of success very vehemently to the point of judging myself now. Like, why did I do that? I don't even know. Like, don't do that. Sell out. It's like, I don't know why, but I was raised on like this skatepunk idea of, thumbing my nose at corporations and stuff. And now all my friends that work for like big corporations have great lives, um, and make a really good amount of money and do well for themselves. And I don't know why I chose to be a starving artist, but that's kind of the point. I don't think I chose it. Like this is just who I am. Like it's in my personality makeup. I wish I was successful. I wish I knew how to market myself and get myself out there and attract an audience and stuff. But it's not it's not my skill set. I would need to be paired with a manager or something, or an agent, or multiple things that creatives need. And I never found that. Never found that lucky break, despite going to good schools and being very well educated and having a lot to say. So that is sad, and I pity myself for that. When I got into the hospital, after a really terrible night of like waiting in the waiting room, pissing off the doctors with my nihilism, I just I called my ex-girlfriend and was emotional with her. And it just brings up this other idea of like failure, I guess, that I have exes, I don't have a love in my life. I have exes. I have friends, but I'm nobody's priority. And that is very salient to me. And I don't really know why that is, like I would like to have a family. I'm very in touch with that now, but you can't just like get a family. Like this is why people tell this is why old people tell young people to like get their things in order, all their affairs, all their goals clear. Like in university, people are told that, and it's like people like me like scoff, like, okay, whatever, boomer, like you can do that prescribed boring way of life, but I'm going to do it my way and be different. And it's like, it's not that cool actually to do it my way and be different. It's actually quite painful to like be 40 and think about the next 40 years without security, without a lifelong partner secured already, without a salary and a career secured. And I'm okay with it, I guess, but like to me it's just all I know, and I'll make do and I'll get by. And I'm like kind of proud of that I can kind of like figure things out my way. But it's not attractive to women now. It doesn't make my parents proud or confident or comfortable. Like I'm in Berlin, Germany, and I'm from California, and they're worried so much about me that they want to come out here, or they're willing to anyway. But I had to like talk that out with them. Like, what would that accomplish? I'm a grown man. Like, there's nothing my parents can do for me anymore. They're old. Like, I should be taking care of them. But more to the point, I should have my life structured so that they don't worry. And I wish that they didn't. And I think I'm just embarrassed that people do worry about me. And Sasha, my ex, like said so, like that she's worried about me. And that, less physically with my foot and hobbling around for the rest of the summer and, whatever, recovering and not being mobile, but like more like mentally, like I could spiral. I could just like get really rueful and regretful and look back and wonder what if and all that. And it's true, because I'm prone to that. I'm prone to being emotional and doing that. And I would like to be stronger than that. And I think like, I've been in this hospital now for like several days, and it's been chill. And I have a lot to occupy myself. I have a lot of photos to edit and maps to design and podcasts to record and political opinions to have and stuff. But I think I have to come to some realization about being a failure at all these things that I do, and wanting to overcome that and make my parents proud and be successful in some way that's not just being a flaneur with no evidence of anything to put my name on. And I know that my friends want that for me, and everybody that's ever known me expects more of me. And if this was it, and I never did another thing, I can imagine the eulogies at my funeral to be full of disappointment and what if, like all the potential that I had. And I live with that already every day, like it keeps me up at night, and I have insomnia and anxiety and lifelong bouts of depression because this is built into me. I don't know how to get to the next level in my pursuits. I don't know how to be good at this as a content creator. Like I hate this background that I'm recording in right now. This hospital room sucks. Like I watch so many YouTube videos of like good studio settings, like good cameras. I have a nice camera, like, I have this right here, but like I don't even know how to make this software work so that I'm like, recording with this thing and making it look good. And like, I guess I'm a perfectionist in this sense. So I guess now it's like enough is enough. Just like use what you have. You have this computer. It has a camera on it, you know how to record something. So I'm doing it, but like, it's hard to be a disappointment to yourself, So I live with that, and it's hard. And I guess I do distract myself with like a jet set party lifestyle, and maybe it's healthy that I face that and don't travel this summer and just lay up in my room with a broken foot. And I can handle that. I've grown up with this kind of conflicted relationship with masculinity, as we all have, I suppose. And I think that's what attracted to me to my ex, Sasha, in a way, because she's, an ethnic Russian from Eastern Europe who values masculinity, and I'm masculine in ways for sure. And I thought I could step up and even be more like masculine, and was so attracted to her femininity. But at the end of the day, I'm like very much a modern American guy who isn't a provider type and might even need the kind of providing that my parents spoiled me with. And I'm just at conflict with this world in every way, I'm like this enigma to my professors who couldn't give me bad grades, but also couldn't set me up with galleries, people that have always kind of supported me in theory, but never in practice, friends that are like excited to be around me, but then get tired of me, or, girls that I date who see some allure and then kind of like lose faith or something. And I see all that all the time. And I know that something more is required of me to step up and be better. And it's just like these platitudes of doing the work and determination and like all the kind of business bullshit um, slogans. Like I hear them, and I used to like kind of mock them, but I don't do that anymore. I actually want to believe in them and do it, but I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it looks like. Even today in this hospital is a funny example. Like, I'm kind of getting hungry. It's like 8 p.m. This hospital food is like kind of a joke, I'm in Germany, so like their idea of dinner is 5:30 bread and cold cuts. And I'm not into it. So they brought it and they served it here and it was sitting there and like I just didn't want to eat it. And I don't know what I'll eat for dinner. And I kind of thought maybe a friend will come by and bring me a doner kebab or something. But I didn't really try too hard to organize that. I don't have that many close friends that would want to come to this hospital, especially in Friedrichshain, when most of my friends are in Neukölln or Kreuzberg or something. And I just might not eat, and I think being a starving artist is literally like that. It's like you have some conception of what you want, but you can't always get what you want. You can't control the world. And we're so drawn and attracted to people that seem to be able to control the world and like make it happen as they want. And I have flashes of it, like I've done things, I've made things happen that I'm proud of and stuff. But like at the end of the day, not really. Like being in this situation in this hospital, it's like I want to be the kind of guy that's like, Mom and Dad, don't worry. My assistant will handle all these little details, and I have a loving partner who's there for me when I get home, and like all these little things. Like I've set up my apartment to be like really comfortable and efficient, and it's like a beautiful place to be, so I don't mind being there. Like I can't say any of that stuff, and I would like to be able to do that, but obviously bookshelves are full of self-help guides and these kind of like guru guys that tell you how to get there. But I've read a good amount of it, and it's just not that easy. It's like a very quixotic mystery to you can't, I don't know if I even need to say any more about it. Like there are people that do that and there are people that don't do that, and most people don't do that for a reason. I do think that there's like something that I have that I think should let me unlock more of life. I have enough talent and charisma, I think, to be at least as good as some of the YouTubers I watch or the artists I see in galleries. And yet I still don't. And I think the hardest part of that is just being a disappointment to myself and everyone around me, because people don't really know what to do with it. Even people like me who like do live outside a system or think outside the box or whatever cliche thing, even they want to like be able to meet up with you and hear something good that they can encourage you about or celebrate with you or be happy for you. And what I find as I get older is that of course my parents will always love me, and my oldest friends will always write me back or pick up the phone or but everyone is confused by somebody like me they don't know what to do with me. Like, are you gonna pity me? Are you gonna envy me? Are you going to meet up with me? Are you gonna have other plans? Like, it's very confusing. And I guess I get off on that because life is such an improvisational act that you just don't know how things break. If that girl is going to smile at you and write you back, or if that date is going to go well, or if that job interview is going to come through, or whatever. And that is cool. It's so cool. But you know what's more cool? Is knowing that stuff and having it in the bag, and like being able to have the confidence to know that it's happening and that you're going to do it. That's even more, that's rad. And I don't know how to get there, and I want to. And I want to, I don't know. I guess I want to get the right kind of help. And so I'm kind of just happy that my dad is like admitting at least that he's disappointed in me and that I haven't done anything with my life. I mean, it's the thing a dad is supposed to say. So, Dad, I'm happy that you've said it. I don't need his advice in how to get a job, because that's not how you get a job. You know, you get a job through connections and goodwill and proving your skills to people. And I don't know why that's been so hard. I mean, I've had jobs. I just think that working is for suckers, and I don't want a job. I want to be a successful, creative, self-employed person who knows how to like make my dreams happen. And it means impressing you as like audience, you know. It means like having something to say and having an interesting point of view that I can sell. That's like the kind of world that I live in, where that's what success is, you know. And I don't know, I get distracted, I guess, with like politics. I consume a lot of like pundits, you know, but it's like, that's not really what I would be proud of saying, you know. Like, I agree with all of it here and there, like my sides, you know, my radical centrism and anti-woke left stuff. But is that what I want to hang my hat on? You know, I'm proud of my photography, but is that like what I want to be pushing hard into the world? I don't know. Like, I'm still figuring that out, I guess. And I guess the older I get, the more I'm embarrassed by doing that. So that's what I'm thinking about in this hospital when I'm facing my health and my mortality and the second half of my life, and you know, looking back and taking stock on what I've accomplished and what I want for myself. That's where I'm at. So maybe I'll talk to you again. Ciao.